Question 11. Nick uses this graph to change between pounds, dollars and euros. So you can see he's got numbers of dollars or number of euros up the side. He's got a number of pounds along the bottom. He's got a line for dollars and he's got a dashed line for euros. And it goes from 0 to 150 along both ends, along both scales. Underneath it says the questions are on the next page. Use the graph to work out the missing numbers below. The first one is done for you. Well, before we go any further, we've actually copied and pasted the graph onto this page to make it easy so we don't have to keep scrolling backwards and forwards. The first statement says £70 is about the same as 84 euros. Well, let's examine how they've got that. £70. Well, here's the number of pounds. We know that this is 50, we know that this is 100, but we need to figure out how to work out where 70 is. So we're going to have to work out what each mini gap is worth on here. Well, we can see the big gaps are going up in 50s. So big gap up in 50s. But there are 10 mini gaps. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mini gaps. So if we take one of the big gaps, which is 50, and divide it by 10, because there are 10 mini gaps, we'll know what each mini gap is. So 50 divided by 10 is £5. Now we can see, so each mini gap is going up in £5. We can see that up the side has the same scale, but this is dollars and euros. So we also know that if along the bottom each mini gap is going up in £5, up the side each mini gap is going up in $5 or €5. Now euros is normally written with a number first, then an E for euros. So every mini gap on this graph is going up in £5, $5 or €5. And we can use that information to help us. So the first statement says £70 is 84 euros. Let's see if that's right. So £70 would be 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, which would be there. So that's 70. Then we'd have to draw a line up to euros, which is the dashed line. Then draw a line across. Now this number is a little bit below 100, so it can come down in 5, so it'd be 95, 90, 85. So this is about 85, which kind of fits in with what it says there being 84, because 84, 85, it's about the same thing. It does say the word about, so we don't have to be exact. So that fits in. So now we can read the second statement. Second statement says £70 is about the same as how many dollars? So we need to find £70, so it's 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, which is there. We need to go up to the dollars line this time. So straight up to the dollars line, which is there on that point. And now draw a line across. And where the arrow meets the line across, obviously you could use a ruler to do this. That's our answer. So it's 1 square above 100. 1 square above 100 is going to be 105. So that's our first answer, $105. The next statement, we're just going to rub that out first before we look at the next statement so we don't confuse ourselves. So the next one says $120 is about the same as how many pounds? So we're looking for $120. This time we're talking dollars, so we need to go up the side. There's 100, 105, 110, 150, 120 would be about there. And we're trying to work out how many pounds this is. So we've got to go across to the dollars line, which is at this point here, and where it meets, then we've got to draw all the way down. Obviously, again, you would use a ruler. And then we've got to work out how many pounds this is. So we've got 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. So it's about £80. The final question is a little bit trickier. So again, let's rub this out to avoid confusion. So we're being asked to compare 120 euros to find out how much it is in dollars. So 120 euros. So here's the euros scale. So 120 would be 105, 110, 150, 120. So it's there. So we need to go across to 120 euros. which is there. And we need to find how many dollars this is. Well, 120 euros we can see is the same as 100 pounds. But 100 pounds, if we go back up, we can see is the same as this amount of dollars. And if we follow it back along to the side, we can see that's $150. So 120 euros is the same as 100 pounds, but 100 pounds is the same as $150. So 120 euros and $150 must be the same. Therefore, the answer 120 euros is the same as $150. And there's the statements all completed.